So, today for Rise Up Daily, we're going to go over a handful of fan theories, talk to you about whether we believe them, whether we don't believe them, and kind of dig into some of the facts. Today, Hila and I got roped into doing one, but it's okay because it's one that we both personally love.
Yes.
You guessed it, Game of Thrones.
The first fan theory we're going to go over is Tyrion Lannister actually a Targaryen?
I think so.
I think so too.
I do. I think Tywin made it very clear throughout the series that he doesn't think Tyrion is his son, or he can't prove Tyrion is not his son.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, he looks nothing like a Lannister.
Right. He doesn't act like a Lannister either.
Nope.
So in the books, he has really pale blonde hair, not golden blonde hair like the other, like his siblings. So the pale blonde, who else has pale blonde hair?
Mm-hmm.
Daenerys
Targaryens.
has pale blonde hair. Also, he's very bookish.
Which was like Rhaegar. He was very
Yes.
bookish. And he's said to be obsessed with dragons.
With dragons. So who else likes dragons?
The Targaryens.
like dragons. So
So,
supposedly, when Tywin and Joanna on their wedding night, Rhaegar, who was the
Aerys.
Aerys,
the Mad King.
So many Targaryens.
Yes.
The Mad King took some liberties with Joanna on her wedding night, which is what kings
Because
would do.
Tywin was
sometimes.
the hand of the king.
Yes.
So they were there at the right time.
So he may have bedded her
And even though that...
unwillingly.
Or willingly. I mean, it
You
is
never know.
Tywin. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
But that might have been a little too early, but who's to say, being the king, he didn't continue taking liberties with her.
True.
So,
Why would you stop? You have no
seriously.
reason to stop. So, if he got Joanna pregnant, and I think there's something going around that maybe Tywin had tried to stop the pregnancy, and so that's why Tyrion ended up small and stunted in growth.
But I also read a counter argument that said, well, if Tywin knew, why wouldn't he kill Tyrion? And I think a good point to that is Tywin's biggest thing is his ego and
Yes.
being a Lannister and his name. And if he had,
His
first of
honor,
all,
pride.
Exactly. Tyrion was already an imp, but then to go and make it public that he wasn't his, and Joanna either cheated on Tywin or was taken advantage of by the king, those are not things that Tywin would want anyone to know for the
Right.
sake of the Lannisters' name.
So he would put up with having this child that wasn't really
Exactly.
his child and raising him, but being total jerk to him, and
Total jerk.
he got his in the end, so it's okay.
True. Which that really changes the dynamic at the end, though, if Tyrion didn't actually kill his father. Not to say he wasn't a jerk, but that's just an interesting twist.
Okay, so a second theory is that Jon Snow is still alive. What do you think?
Of course, Jon Snow is still alive. Jon Snow can't die.
No,
He can't die.
I think he's still alive. First off, he's been spotted
Countless
during-
times.
in the filming locations, and he hasn't cut his hair.
Which is something he's wanted to do for the last 6 years.
Right.
Hasn't been able to.
And even though the creators have said to the President of the United States, who has asked if Jon Snow is alive, they told him that he was dead, but I think they're lying.
I think so too. And then you have the rest of the cast not really knowing the answer.
Right.
It's such a huge secret. One of the counter arguments is that he's going to be brought back in flashbacks. But at the end of the day, I think either Melisandre is going to save him
I think that's what's happening, because she ran back from the battlefield.
unexpectedly.
Ran when she
Just
saw that
abandoned
Stannis was
Stannis.
going to die, but she left anyway. She went back to the wall, and that's where Jon was hurt, only hurt. And I think she's going to help resuscitate him in some form.
Either that or he's not dead at all. I know in the show there were a lot of stab wounds and it just didn't really look probable for him. But in the book, it's only hints to him being stabbed 2 or 3 times, with a 4th possibly missing him. And another thing that ties into Stannis, kind of backtracking, but every time a main character dies in Game of Thrones, they honor that character with an art piece.
Yeah, so
Jon Snow was not the featured dead
was
character.
not.
It was Stannis Baratheon.
And you would think he would be the one
He
to
would
feature.
absolutely be the one. So
I don't think he's dead.
I think we can all agree that Jon Snow is still alive.
Yep.
And we will be seeing him in season 6. Go get Harrington. Which just transitions into our third theory, which is, does the dragon have 3 heads?
There's the long-running theory, R plus L equals J. R is Rhaegar Targaryen.
Targaryen. It's important.
Targaryen. L is
Lyanna
Stark,
Ned's sister.
Ned's sister who died.
Mm-hmm.
So the theory is that he was obsessed with her. He even bypassed his wife to go give her a prize or something like that. Yeah. When he won something. Anyhow, so he was obsessed with her. So the theory is that he had relations with her intentionally, or whether she liked it or not, I don't know. But again, that's, it's the way of Game of Thrones. But he got her pregnant, and she knew that her child would be killed, so she gave her child to Ned to raise.
Making him promise to take care of him.
And not tell anyone where he came from. So the theory is that Jon is not Ned Stark's bastard son, but is in fact his nephew, his sister's son, which would make him a Targaryen.
And a very strong support of that argument is the fact that the 3 best swordsmen in the kingdom were protecting Lyanna's door in the middle of the bloodiest battle in history. When Ned came there, found her, and she was also described as having died in a pool of blood, but that wouldn't really make sense if it was a fever. And George R.R. Martin has described many childbirths throughout the series as being in a pool of blood. And then on top of that, Ned reflects back to the promise he made Lyanna when he was thinking about all of the bastard sons of Robert.
Yes.
So it would fall in line if his transition of thought was Robert's bastard sons, Jon, promised to Lyanna, and then the Targaryen was brought up as well. So it all kind of falls in line to Jon being a Targaryen, which would then mean that he would be the 3rd head of the dragon.
Right.
Now, this would mean Daenerys is 1 head of the dragon. If Tyrion's theory is true, Tyrion is the 2nd head of the dragon, and if Jon is in fact still alive, and you believe R plus L equals J, which I think most people do, he would be the 3rd head of the dragon. So I think all 3 theories are true.
I do too.
I do. I think it would make sense for Tyrion to be a Lannister, or I'm so sorry, a Targaryen, more sense than him being a Lannister.
Yes.
Jon Snow just can't be dead.
Nope.
That's the bottom line.
He's alive. He's there.
And how amazing would it be to tie the 3 main characters of the book and the show all into this one prophecy?
Yes.
But I guess we're going to have to wait and see.
We will wait and see.
We do want to hear what you have to say, though. You can vote in the wedgie down below us. Leave your comments. If you want to see Game of Thrones Part 2, just, vote. Let us know. Hila and I would love to explore some more fan theories with you.
Or if there's any other movie, film, show you want to hear more about, let us know.
And again, that's it for this week. So we'll see you next time.
So don't be a fool. 'Cause if you lose, you'll become cold. And she will terrorize your soul.
That's a pretty good one, huh? Game of Thrones episode?
Game of what now? I'm a Rastafarian, Targaryen. Got some dragons in, they're very scary, and been here and there and then back again, and yeah, Rastafarian, Targaryen. Call me Daenerys Targaryen when you wanna reach me, and if you feel the love, you can call me Khaleesi.